Croeso I sianel Blaid Llwyd. It's Tuesday evening for me, so that means it must be Dawn Chorus, so I said that would be happening. And we're back with the always interesting second episode. And that's because everyone now has a voice who's appeared in the first episode, but I haven't done them often enough to actually remember exactly how they sounded. So it's really fun to have to do this. We'll see what happens. Anyway, let's get into this. I leave the cafeteria and walk around the guest house some more. The rest of the walk continuing uneventful. Before me is the door with the number 14 written on it. The room number that Bjorn gave me before we split up. I don't have anything to do right now anyway, so I decided to take him up on his offer and play some snooker with him. I've never played it myself, but I've seen a few matches on TV. I think I at least should remember some of the rules. Okay, here goes nothing. There's some shuffling behind the door, and after a short while it finally opens and Bjorn's head peeks outside. This time he isn't wearing his hoodie, and the t-shirt he has on shows off his rounded features. Oh, Arvo. Give me just a sec, I'll be right back. The door closes again with a loud thud, and I jump a little, startled by the abruptness of the greeting. Looks as if he didn't want me to see the inside of his room for some reason. There's more shuffling before the door finally opens again, and Bjorn walks out into the corridor. What's up, Arvo? I hope I didn't interrupt you with anything. Nah, don't worry. I was watching something. I'll finish it later. You mentioned snooker earlier. How about a match? Bjorn gives me a toothy grin. Only now I notice how thick his snout is. I'm not sure if my two paws would be enough to wrap around it. Sure, this was my idea after all. Let me grab my hoodie and we can go. We move to the second part of the common space where the snooker table is located. I went past it a few times before, but I never paid much attention to it. Well, there's our table. It looks bigger than I expected. It's bigger than the pool table for sure. It's a bit intimidating. Bjorn approaches the snooker table and fetches two cues from underneath it, passing one to me. I just lean mine against the wall for now. Now, do you know how to play snooker? I thought we're supposed to pot the coloured balls with a white ball. Not really. Sorry, you'll have to teach me. I have some memories of watching snooker with my parents, whereas I was still a kid and couldn't be bothered with something as trivial and interesting as rules. Well, I can't do it because I have no idea either. Wait, I'll find the rules online. He takes the phone out of his pocket. It's quite bulky and definitely does not look a current model. Its screen cracked pretty badly. Either he can't afford anything better or just doesn't care what phone he has as long as it's working. Okay, that's not as easy as I thought it would be. Have you ever played pool? Yeah, not lately, but used to play with my dad. The rules are a bit more complicated, and here we both have to pot the same balls. He looks at his phone and starts reading the rules. There are 15 red balls and 6 balls of different colours. Red ones are worth 1 point each, the other 6 are worth 2 to 7 points, black being the most valuable one. First you have to pot all of the red balls, alternating between them and the other 6, doesn't matter which ones. The red ones stay in the pockets, other colours are put back on the table. Then when all the red ones are out, we have to pot the remaining balls, yellow, green, brown, blue, pink and black, exactly in that order. When the player misses a shot, his turn ends. There are no special lose conditions. The game ends when all the balls are in the pockets, or when the person who has more points than there are still on the table, plus what his opponent already has, misses a shot. The article also said the table is much bigger, while balls and pockets are smaller. The cues are also longer, but that makes sense with a bigger table. I guess it's going to be a challenge. Okay, let me set up the table. I can help you, just tell me what to do. Okay, take all the red balls and arrange them in a triangle at this dot here, and I'll take care of the rest. He pointed to a dot on the table, passing me a triangular rack and a tray with the balls. While Bjorn puts the 6 balls of different colours at different points of the table, I place the rack on the table and fill it with all the red balls. After I carefully lift the rack, the red balls are arranged perfectly. Okay, all set. Come on, Tiger, let's play. I pick up my cue and approach the table. Which of us goes first? Well, you can go first if you want. Break shot is not my favourite part of the match, because the results of the shot are almost completely unpredictable. But it's nice to be on to suggest it anyway. Nah, you can go first. Well, thanks. There's a gleam of excitement in his eyes as he approaches the table with the cue in his paw. He places the cue ball inside the D-shaped area between the yellow and brown ball. He leans in, laying his huge left paw on the table and using it to guide the cue as he prepares for the stroke. Finally, with a loud thud, he makes a hit, and the white ball shoots straight into the triangle of red ones, sending them flying in every direction. None of them falls into a pocket though, and the cue ball stops at one of them near the rail. Bjorn looks at me suggestively, and I raise my brow questioningly, not really knowing what he's up to. Well, balls are touching, you know what that means. What? He winks at me and I can feel the tips of my ears get hotter. It means you have to play away from the touching ball without moving it. Well, okay, you wouldn't know that because I haven't told you all the rules. There'll be too many of them for you to remember at once. He fakes a cough, trying to cover how awful his joke was. But anyway, it's your turn, Arvo. He moves away from the table and leans against the wall, holding the cue in his huge furred paw. One glance at the table tells me the situation isn't bad. I have at least 2 red balls I should be able to pocket without much problem. I choose the one that's further from the pocket, but the angle is less tricky. Still looks like I still remember something from playing pool with my father. I close one eye and lean in, aiming carefully and hit it elegantly. It shoots straight into the red ball, sending it towards the pocket, which it misses by a whole few centimetres. Oh, damn it. Oh, not your best shot, was it? Well, let me show you how it's done. The cue ball ended near the yellow after my shot, so the situation on the table is much worse than it was when I was playing, and Bjorn approaches the table nonchalantly. He doesn't waste much time and leans in for a long shot to the corner pocket. He puts a lot of power into the shot, sending the cue ball into the direction of the red one. But he misses it completely. Bjorn turns in my direction with a defeated look on his face. Well, that's foul. Your turn. In the end, our playing was a complete disaster. We spent around an hour at the table before we called it quits. Bjorn managed to pot 1 red ball, but I only once accidentally hit the cue ball straight into the pocket. It certainly looked easier on television. Those matches I was watching, everything seemed so effortless. I have to say my respect for snooker players rose many times. We put everything back to where we took it from, and I walked Bjorn back to his room. Why did you want to play snooker if you never played it before? Well, because it could be fun. Where's your adventurous spirit? You're just sore because I won against you, aren't you? Just by 1 point. Don't flatter yourself, we were both totally hopeless. He let out a hearty laugh. It's nice to see him still cheerful after the game. I'm feeling a bit down after missing all my shots for an hour straight. That's right, but you have to start somewhere. Sucking at something is the first step to being good at it. You're right. Snooker is hard though, especially with a huge table and small balls, that's for sure. Yeah, I think I enjoy playing with bigger balls more. But it was fun, wasn't it? More than I thought it would be. So, see you at dinner, yeah? Yeah, we should repeat that sometime. He gives me a terrified look. I'm just joking. I don't think I'm ready to so utterly disgrace myself again anytime soon. Next time we're playing table pool ball. A deal. He enters his room and closes the door after him. I found myself walking back to the lobby without even thinking about it. Maybe it looked like a complete failure, but frankly Bjorn did too. Who cares about the score anyway? Well, me usually. Maybe that's my problem. I approach everything so competitively. Gives me an edge in many fields, but sometimes it's nice to just forget about that and do something for fun, not caring about the score. I really had a blast playing with Bjorn. It was not due to winning, but simply because I enjoyed his company. It feels good to put the competitive spirit aside and do something just to enjoy it once in a while. I'm really glad I met Bjorn here at this camp. Even though I felt tense around him at first, he proved to be a cool guy, just a bit reserved at first. But I can just be myself around him. He seems like the type of person who's always true to himself. And being around him, I sort of wish I could snuggle myself into his huge furred body. He seems chill enough that he might be okay with that. Maybe I could just ask him the next time I see him. Swimming pool. I haven't been in one in ages. It's really cool that our guest house has one. I didn't expect such luxuries when I first heard about the camp. Looks like there is a joint locker room for both the sauna and swimming pool, which is pretty common. Entering the room, the first thing I see is Rune standing next to a row of lockers taking off his shirt. I stop in my tracks, standing in the locker room door, not expecting to walk on a buff bare-chested buck here. He notices me entering and raises a paw, greeting me. Oh, hello. Hi there. Feeling very awkward all of a sudden, I walk into the locker room and look around, avoiding Rune with my gaze. After all, it's Rune standing next to me, shirtless on top of that. Just that would be enough to make me blush. But on top of that, the memory of the dream I had in the bus is still fresh in my head. Are you looking for someone? Devon is in the swimming pool already. No, just came here to swim. Hey, don't be shy. We're all at the same camp. We might as well get familiar with each other. My name is Rune. I study neuroscience. I'm Arvo, studying cognitive science. I'm from Finland. I moved to Norway just this year. It's nice to meet you. I take a quick glance at his naked torso, admiring his athletic build. Very nice indeed. Okay, that's enough of the formalities. Now, tell me, did you come here to swim or stay? He winks at me, grinning. I can feel my cheeks getting hot. Oh no, is that really that obvious? As if someone in my dictionary was up to no good. Instead of coming up with a witty response, my mind draws a blank. Hey, don't get so flustered. I'm just messing with you. He continues to undress, taking off his trousers. Okay, I definitely need to direct my attention elsewhere. I pick a free locker and put the jacket inside it, hanging it on a hook. I took my shoes off the door and went in bare-pawed, so now I put them on the bottom of the locker. Only now I notice a distinct smell of chlorine that hangs in the air heavily. To take a full lungful of it, I'm instantly flooded by a wave of memories from various swimming pools and locker rooms I've been in throughout my life. This one is fairly small, which is to be expected from a moderately sized guest house, with just around 15 lockers in 2 rows and 2 benches between them. 2 of the lockers taken by Rune and Coach, so it must be only the 3 of us here at the moment. Take off my shirt and trousers, folding it neatly and put it on a shelf inside a locker, then a sudden realization hits me. I look at Rune's doing some warm-up exercises, changing to swimwear already. He notices me looking and turns in my direction. Oh, what's up? I don't have any swimming shorts. A devious smile appears on Rune's snout. I don't see a problem. There's no one besides us in here, and there's nothing to be embarrassed about. Are you suggesting? Rune winks at me, grinning. Well, why not? It's good to do something crazy once in a while. As Rune said, there's no one beside us here now anyway. No one will probably come in so soon before dinner. What the hell? I take off my underwear and throw it into the locker on top of the rest of my clothes. For us Finns, nudity is not something comfortable or weird. In fact, it's a normal part of our lives. I'm not sure if they're the same for Norwegians, but the fact that Rune even proposed that now would suggest so. I close the locker, leaving the key inside the lock. Okay, ready now? Let's go. I nod and follow him to the showers. The tiled floor feels cold under my paws, so I hasten my steps to match those of Rune. There are no separate stalls, just one row of shower heads extending from the wall. We take 2 adjacent showers. I press the button and water starts pouring onto me. Ah, it's cold. Next me, Rune starts showering too, rubbing liquid soap into his thick pelt. I don't want to stay long under the cold water, so I finish showering quickly and leave the swimming pool. My fur feels heavy with all the water it's soaked up under the shower. I don't bother doing anything with it. I'm jumping into the pool in a moment anyway. I leave the showers, leaving a trail of wet paw steps behind me. The swimming pool looks fairly normal, aside from maybe the lighting. 2 rows of lamps hang from the ceiling above the water, reflected in the glossy tiles. The view opposite to the entrance is made entirely of windows, giving a view of the surroundings. The pool is fairly small, as hotel pools usually are, but it seems long enough to build up some speed before swimming the whole length. As Rune said, Coach is already here, standing near the windows and looking at the mountains visible in the distance. He turns around and notices me approaching. Oh, I didn't think he'd be this ripped. He certainly looked like the athletic type. He's a coach after all, but I didn't expect to see chiseled abs on him. Maybe he's a sports player like Rune too. He seems pretty young actually. I wonder how old could he be? Why did he become a coach so soon? Most of the coaches I've seen were in their mid-30s and mid-40s. Hello, coach. Arvo? You didn't forget anything, did you? You know you're naked. Alright, even if Rune is Scandinavian, Coach isn't. I fear the nudity is a much bigger deal in the US and in Europe in general. Well, too late now. Sorry, Professor, I've lost the key to my room. Coach raises an eyebrow, visibly taken aback. I've sorted it out already. I've talked with the receptionist and they asked me to move to another room for a night. All my stuff is locked back there along with my swimwear. I forgot about that completely when I came here and started changing. It only hit me I was already undressing. I met Rune in the locker room. He told me it wouldn't be a problem if I went skinny dipping. And maybe it wasn't such a good idea after all. Hey, it's not a big problem for me if it's not a problem for you. In the meantime, Rune comes out of the showers and approaches us too. Hi there, Devon. Hello. I thought you joined me earlier. What took you so long? I got sidetracked a bit, started doing other things and completely lost track of time. Sorry. Well, that's okay. Just don't slack off during this camp. I'll get back into the pool for a few more rounds. I'm going too. I'll do as many laps as I can before dinner. They both jump into the pool at the deeper end and start swimming. Looks like Coach is slightly faster than Rune. Then again, Rune only did a few warm-up exercises in the locker room while Coach was already here for a while. Having antlers is definitely a disadvantage too. It's funny seeing Rune fully submerged, only his antlers sticking out of the water in front of him. Despite those setbacks, they finished the first 2 lengths almost at the same time. I head towards the ladder to join them too. I lean against the wall, panting loudly. I haven't been to a swimming pool for so long I forgot how tiring it is. Sadly, I was no match for the other 2. For every length that I swam, they easily did 2 or more. I still managed to completely tire myself out. My stamina really is garbage. Cat interruption there. Hey, how are you holding up? I look behind me and see the bulky Black Panther standing in front of me. Fine, I just need a moment to catch my breath. But everything's fine. That's good. You got me worried a little bit. You look like you're going to pass out. It's not that bad. I'm just a bit out of shape, that's all. It takes me a long moment to stabilise my breathing. I finally stop panting and take a few deep breaths. Well, if you attended my class more often, you'd be doing better, you know. So he noticed. That's one topic I hoped you wouldn't bring up here. I know, it's just... Sports were never my forte, and I have some bad memories regarding PE classes. When I have to go to them, I get anxious and start feeling awful, so I usually have to stay in my room. Oh, I had no idea. I hope that didn't cause any of those memories, and if I did, I'm sorry. I know I may not be the most approachable teacher ever. No, don't worry. I just had my share of humiliations in middle school and high school, but I'd rather not remember it. I'm sorry I've been missing your class, Coach. I promise I'll be better about that. Well, that's good to hear. Well, not the part about humiliations, of course. I understand that very well. I can tell you in confidence I disliked PE as a student too. I only started to take it seriously when I went to college. And let's just say I've had my share of humiliations too. Oh, I never would have guessed. I wonder what he means by that. It's hard for me to imagine this ripped panther standing before me ever getting bullied. And there's no need to be so formal. Just Devon is enough. Okay, thank you, Devon. I was just getting back to the changing room though. I'm done swimming. I'd feel much more comfortable having a discussion if you had some clothes on. I actually forgot I have everything hanging out and I'm standing right in front of a teacher. Yeah, that must feel really uncomfortable for him. I look away abashed. Sure, I'm done too. I don't think I could swim even one more length. You two really have some serious stamina. Oh, it's just practice, that's all. Long hours of excruciating practice almost every day of the week for a few years. You could get at that point too. Even now all you need is determination. Pick something you want to be good at and stick with it. It's one of the best pieces of advice I can offer. We walk back to the showers together. Boone joined us as we leave the swimming pool. Ew, that was good. I really needed a good tiring training like this. We three enter the showers and start washing all the chlorine-heavy water from our bodies. The water in the shower is no warmer now than it was before, but now it feels refreshing after all the swimming. I stand under a stream of water and my fatigue flows down with it, disappearing down the drain. We enter the changing room all soaking wet, but invigorated. And that's when I again realised I forgot something very important. Yes? Devon looks at me with concern. No wonder I must be looking pretty lost right now. You know I couldn't get my swimming shorts in my room, right? Well, I couldn't get my towel either. I have a spare one with me in my bag. That is, if you feel okay with using it. It's clean and used, don't worry. He passes me the towel. Oh, thank you, Devon. I feel a warm, glowy feeling inside my chest. If this happened back in high school, instead of getting some actual help from anyone, I'd be made fun of for weeks. I'm here, though, with others that care about me. I'm really happy. I dry myself with the towel I borrowed from Devon and put my clothes back on. By the time I'm done, Rune and Devon are still changing into their clothes, so I say bye to them and leave the locker room. The cafeteria is still half empty when the three of us enter. Maybe we're too early? I take out my phone and check the time. It's just a few minutes before 1600, so the rest should arrive soon. Afternoon light fills the room with a golden glow, giving it a more relaxed atmosphere, much different than the energetic mood that seemed to permeate the room during lunch. The voices in the cafeteria seem to be quieter too. Maybe it's the peacefulness of this place slowly influencing everyone here. Lake's already sitting at our table, together with someone I don't know. Perhaps? Wearing a poncho on top of that. Arvo, hey there, where were you? I was looking for you, but I couldn't find you anywhere. Why there, Lake? I was just at the swimming pool. What did you want? Really? We must have missed each other then. I wanted to go to the sauna, but you weren't around. I ended up going to Orolf. He disappeared somewhere after that too, by the way. Three of us sit around the table, the sound of chairs scratching against the wooden floor reverberating through the room. I look in the direction of the table beside ours where Miko sat during lunch. He's sitting there again, leaning on his paw and looking somewhere outside the window with a gloomy look on his snout. Oh, and there's Bjorn sitting at the same table. He notices me looking and waves at me, smiling. Oh, Lord, they're going to serve for dinner. That lunch was so good. I expect something like that in some trendy lunch bar downtown, not here. The table is just next to ours, and we're at the very end of the room, so it shouldn't bother anyone. Yes, even though the dishes were simple, the quality of everything was surprisingly high. The variety was also nice. I expected just one dish or even simple sandwiches. Most of the staff left already, so this time we're allowed to get reheated food. Hey, sorry to interrupt you. Would you mind if we joined our table with that one? My friends are sitting there too. We're at the end of the cafeteria, so that should make a difference to anyone. I pointed in the direction of the other table, looking around at everyone at ours. I see no problem with that. We should go and ask the other table if they don't mind it either. A sure thing. So nobody here has anything against it? Don't worry, go ahead and ask them. Okay, that's great. I'm sure there'll be more persuading involved. I stand up from the table and walk to the other one where Miko is sitting and tap him gently on the shoulder. He turns around, clearly surprised to see me. His ears perk up and a cheerful smile appears on his snout. Marvel. What are you doing here? Would you mind if we joined at the tables? That way we could all sit together. I wouldn't mind it at all. Quite the contrary, I'd really like it. Is that okay, Bjorn? I don't want to speak for everyone here. Oh, why would I? That'd be cool, actually. I nod. Wow, this is really very easy. I return to my table and wave at Devon, trying to get his attention. They see no problem with it either, so we can go ahead. Devon simply nods in response and stands up. Okay, everyone help me move the table. A sure thing, coach. We all stand up, lift the table and join it with the other one. Hello there, hope you don't mind us joining. We're just talking about the facilities here. Were any of you in the swimming pool or sauna here yet? Of course not, we're glad to see some new faces. Oh yeah, we visited the pool with Devon. It's fine, not very big, but enough to get some speed. Oh, and it's quite a view from there. Oh, by the way, I believe I haven't introduced myself yet. I'm Bjorn, studying neurology. Oh, good idea. How about we all introduce ourselves? I don't know most of you yet. I'm Rune, currently in the 4th year of my studies in neuroscience. Apart from that, I also play basketball and have a few other hobbies I try to cultivate whenever I have the time. I'm Travis, studying neuroscience too, but I'm in my 1st year. I moved to Norway from the US, but I'm half American, half Japanese. I like anime and JRPG games, Korean cuisine, and some good tea from time to time. I think better than a good cup of green tea. True, Japanese sencha is my reason to live. I'm more of a fan of matcha. I always start my day with one, but I wouldn't say no to a sencha. Oh, I'm Miko and I study marine biology with a specialisation in crustaceans. I'm a freshman. I moved here from Finland, just like Arvo here. I make music in my free time. I like anime too. Oh yes. I believe we mostly know each other already. I'm Arvo, and as Miko just said, I moved here from Finland. I study cognitive science. In my free time I dabble in photography, both digital and analogue. So, I'm Laken. Like Miko and Arvo, I moved here from Finland. I'm a freshman too, only I study astrophysics. I'm happy to meet you all. I'm Bjorn, in the 2nd year of astrophysics studies. I like literature and I don't like noise. Everyone is looking at Devon expectantly. Only after a moment he understands we're waiting for him to introduce himself too. That's what he gets for sitting with students, I guess. So, I'm Devon, I believe you all know me. I'm a coach at our university and technically I'm here to supervise you. I moved here from the US less than a year ago, so I'm still just acclimating here. He's suddenly interrupted by the lady from the reception who came with our dinner. She greets us and starts putting plates of food down on the table. First there's some soup, pea-coloured and creamy, smelling of marjoram and thyme. Then a few dishes filled with various stuff, mashed potatoes sprinkled with dill, whole-baked carrots and veggie balls, and a jug of sauce. And finally she puts down 2 platters full of panakaka, thin Norwegian pancakes topped with some dark blue jam and various fruits. Oh, are those blueberries? I love blueberries. Oh, it's only all of them. There are 8 of us here, Rune. Shush, you know I'm not like that.
I think it's super Swedish pea soup. Interesting, we rarely have soups this thick. And veggie balls. It looks like we have a Swedish dinner today.
Just as if we were eating a Yukia restaurant. I've never been to one. Are they good? The food here looks delicious for sure. Well, they're not as good as this place, but for the price, the value is really good. Oh, I used to go there a lot back when I was in high school. I'd grab my books and go there to study, taking advantage of the unlimited coffee refill they have there. You were going to Ukiah to study? Those are words I never expected to hear from anybody. You're really lucky you have them here. We had maybe one in the whole state.
Oh, by the way, Arvo, any luck with a key?
I gulped loudly, swallowed a huge chunk of carrot and started coughing. I didn't tell most of them about the key yet, and I didn't really intend to. I don't really like to talk about my failures and misfortunes. Oh, no luck there yet, unfortunately. Maybe the janitor will find it eventually, and I keep my eyes open too. What about you, Arvo? Did you lose it somewhere? Yeah, after lunch it disappeared somewhere. Why, did you by any chance find a key laying somewhere? No, unfortunately. Did they give you a spare one? No, they asked me to move to another room for today. It's not that bad then, but they had some spare rooms. No, they didn't have any. They asked me to move into someone else's room. Oh. And where are you staying? I don't know yet. Everyone goes silent for a moment. Hey, don't worry about it. I know I have some options, I just didn't decide yet. The mood quickly brightens, and the light-hearted conversations continue as everyone goes back to eating. Blake acts shy at first, overwhelmed by the amount of new people, but warms up to them quickly. He amuses everyone with stories from the dormitory, like the one about his roommate boiling sausages in an electric kettle. Bjorn manages to snatch some extra pancakes that Jürgen and Devon didn't want, while Rune ends up eating most of the blueberries, despite his earlier words. Miko stays silent for most of the dinner, and makes some effort to include him in the conversation too. Travis tells us a bit about Japan. Jürgen talks about a gallery in the nearest city that apparently a must-see, and Devon tells us a bit about how life in the US looks like. It's really great to be here with everyone.
Oh, that was a good meal.
Yeah, we were lucky with this guest house. It still has nothing on ryokans, though.
You would have a hard time trying to find one here.
Miko chuckles softly. He's sitting on the floor listening to the conversation, while me and Bjorn sit on one bed and Travis on the other. Lake and Jürgen left the cafeteria as soon as they finished eating, as did Rune and Devon. We stayed for a while talking, for Miko suggested we go to his room. Yeah, I know. Let me dream. Nothing beats a ryokan, though. You should definitely visit one if you will ever be in Japan. Imagine having onsen in the same building, sleeping in futons, having Japanese food for dinner.
Remember that many ryokans have an onsen. Also have a sauna and a swimming pool here, that's even nicer. I'd rather sleep in a bed on the floor in a futon, and the food here is pretty good too. You should open up to other cultures too, Travis.
Travis seems unconvinced. You're simply saying that because you've never been in one.
Okay, you got me there. I didn't travel much. I never even left the country.
Really? Never? Why?
Well, my parents are the most boring people in the world. They prefer to spend vacations within the country, so we never went anywhere.
Ah, that sucks. What about you, Miko? Did you travel much? A bit. My parents aren't very fond of travelling, but we've had a few trips together. We mostly visit in Scandinavian countries, though. I've been to Iceland and Denmark and obviously Norway. Oh, once we were in Poland visiting Katowice. Apologies to my Polish viewers. Well, apparently my grandmother was born there. I was little then, I don't remember much though. Mostly old buildings and industrial chimneys. I wonder how that country looks now. It seems sort of desolate back then, but a lot can change in 15 years. Hopefully. I'd like to see more of the world, travel somewhere beyond Europe. You're really lucky to have seen Japan, Travis. I guess I am. By the way, Miko, could you play some of your music? Miko smiles and moves closer to his gear, switching it on. Sure, I have a few tracks I was working on. Mostly ambient stuff, though. Oh, maybe you'll like this one. I tried doing something different than I usually do. I think I'm fairly happy with how it turned out. Miko presses something on his groove box and the music starts playing. Travis lies down on the bed and closes his eyes, listening. Bjorn does the same, slowly lying back next to me. I close my eyes too, leaning back against the wall. This is nice. You know, I miss that a lot. More than I thought. Sitting with my friends, listening to music together, just chilling.
Yeah, I miss that too. The last time I did that was, I don't know, in the beginning of high school.
It is nice indeed. It reminds me of all the evenings I've spent with Miko at my home. We used to have a tradition I enjoyed a lot. Every few Saturdays I'd invite Miko and a few of our mutual friends for a listening party. We'd wait for the sunset to enjoy the music in darkness, lie down on my couch together, and I would play one of our favourite albums. We usually stayed silent for the whole duration of the album, just enjoying each other's presence. If we stopped spending time together, the tradition died out. Until now I've got about it completely. Only now I understand how much I missed others' company. I guess I was a bit lonely since I moved out of Finland. I filled my days with work and didn't even notice it. Alva, do you remember our school trip to Turkey in middle school?
Yeah, we did the same thing then, if I remember correctly.
Only we were listening to Tangerine Fantasy with a bunch of people we didn't know, all laying on beds on the floor. Next to me, Bjorn shifts on the bed, his fuzzy arm brushing against mine. I hesitate for a moment before suddenly moving myself closer to him, pressing my side against his and waiting for his reaction. He doesn't seem to mind, only letting out a content rumble. I can feel the heat radiating from his huge body. For a moment I consider leaning my head on his shoulder. I don't want to risk crossing his boundaries. He knows that I'm gay and he might misinterpret my intentions. What are my intentions even? I open my eyes and look at Bjorn. He's laying down next to me with his eyes closed, looking so peaceful. I wish I could just snuggle myself into him. I'm too nervous to ask him if I can though. I'm too nervous to say anything.
Are you cold?
Bjorn opens his eyes and looks at me.
You're trembling.
I lift my arm. Indeed, I can see my paw is shaking a bit. It's nothing, no. Maybe I'm a bit nervous, but I don't even know why I would be.
Hey, we're all friends here. There's no need to worry about over anything. Do you want to lean on me?
Sure.
Go ahead, I don't mind.
I lean on him, resting my head on his shoulder. He's soft but sturdy, a perfect pillow. He smells nice too. Sort of an earthly scent that reminds me of the forest, relaxing and pleasant. I shift my head a bit so my nose is pressed up against him. He shifts a bit too so I can lean on him more comfortably with my head on his chest. This is nice. I feel so small cuddled into this big guy. We stay like that, silent, listening, until the track ends and then a bit longer. Nobody wants to break this magical moment. I'm in my room, what's up? Lake responded to my message almost instantly. I came here hoping to find someone, but since dinner it's oddly quiet in the whole guest house. I just lazed around for a while before deciding to text Lake. Got any ideas on what to do? I'm down in the common space. Come over if you want, we'll think of something. Okay, it's better than sitting alone here for sure. I get up from the sofa, walk in the direction of Lake's room. Hey, you got here fast. Come in, Jürgen is inside too, and I've invited Miko already. Oh, I didn't think this would turn into a party. Hi there, Jürgen. Avo? When I enter the room, Jürgen is sitting on his bed and tapping at his phone furiously. He gives me a quick glance before going back to writing. The orange-tinted afternoon light reflects in his thick glasses, partially obscuring his somewhat feminine face. Standing here looking at him, I feel like he's really somewhere far away and I might never reach him. Until he would reach out to me and pull me in first. I definitely won't call it a party. Besides, I thought about going out for a walk. It'd be nice to move a bit after dinner. Playing table porpoise is nice, but that's just standing in one place, flailing your paws. I see you're energetic as always. You can go, why not? Spending time outside you is only a pleasure. Comparing that to the crowded city. Oh, I definitely get what you mean. You know, sometimes I miss my old town. Sometimes I miss it too, but then I remember what living there looked like. I mean, there's just nothing to do for most of the year. Hey, you might be right. I enjoy living in the big city too. I love the energy it has. Just, you know, sometimes it's good to be back in nature. Oh, why Miko, by the way? I thought you don't know each other much. Yeah, but I seen him in the corridor when we were coming back to our room and he looked kind of sad. He's alone, so I thought that going out with us could cheer him up. Suddenly there's a knock on the door and Miko's head peeks in through the gap. Hi, can I come in? Ah, speak of the devil. I invited you, didn't I? Come in, sit down, hop on a bed, do whatever you like. Oh, thanks. He enters the room and looks at the three of us, visibly confused. Are you talking about me? Oh no, Harvo just mentioned you. Oh, okay. So what's the plan? What do you say for a little walk? Why not? I'm down for whatever you're up to. He indeed looks a bit downcast. I hope everything is fine. Behind me, Jürgen puts down his phone and hops onto the wooden floor. Okay, I'm ready now. Oh, Harvo, I hope you have some warmer clothes. Not really. Everything I had with me is still in my room. He looks up the wardrobe and ponders for a while before reaching into it and taking out a warm-looking blue flannel shirt. It's not much, but it's better than a sweater alone. Oh, thanks, Lake. I put on the shirt. It indeed is very warm. What's even nicer, smells faintly of Lake. Feels like a nice warm hug from him. Let's go then while the sun is still out. Jürgen, already in the jacket, walks up to the window and looks out. We don't have much time. Come on then, chop chop. We leave the room together. Lake leads the way, walking with a lively step, while Jürgen leaves as the last one and locks the door before catching up to us. The sky is painted with a myriad of reds and yellows. It must be sunset already, if the sun is hidden behind the clouds. It's really chilly outside this hour already. The views make it worthwhile. I love winter so much. It's definitely my favourite time of the year. Our sweater season. Well, it's nice, but I want it to last all year for sure. I wouldn't mind, frankly. I'd rather have to put on a coat and overheat constantly. Plus, I love snow so much. Saying that, he flops backwards into the snow. What are your favourite seasons then? Yeah, for me, it's autumn. What about you, Harvo? I like winter the most too. It's the best season to take photos. Places that look ordinary in the other seasons suddenly become ominous in winter. Plus, with the lower temperatures, I can take photos at higher ISO values without too much grain. You, Miko? Miko thinks for a while before replying, staring into the open sky. Well, I think my favourite season is always the current one. Something really special about each one. I always find myself enjoying the season I'm in the most. I love snow too, and I love the peacefulness winter brings. Everything seems still, and everything around is covered with white fluff. Before he can continue speaking, he gets hit with a snowball from behind. The look of surprise on his face is priceless. His tail completely straightens out behind him too. Oh, yo! He leans down to the ground and quickly makes a snowball of his own, immediately throwing it at Lake, who's running away from him. Jürgen looks at the three of us with a startled look on his face for hiding behind me. I don't mean to stand still though. It's been years since I've been in a snowball fight. I crouch on the ground and start making a snowball, but before I'm done I get hit by one thrown by Lake. Damn, he has a good aim. The fresh snow is soft and just perfect for making snowballs. I finish mine quickly, patting it well to make it harder and throw it at Lake. He ducks it, throwing himself into the snow again. Damn, what an agile beast. Miko is hidden himself behind the tree, but from here I can see him clearly. I assemble another snowball in seconds, hoping I won't get hit with another by Lake. Taking a few steps forward, I launch a snowball at an unsuspecting Miko and hit him straight in the chest. He turns towards me surprised, and I wave to him, for a certain lion pounces on me, throwing me on my back into the snow. Hello there. Before I can react, he kneels on me, grabs a paw full of snow and starts rubbing it into my snout. Lake. Oh my god, it's cold. You don't say. I grab a paw full of snow too and throw it at him. He starts laughing and gets off me, falling onto his back on the ground next to me. Phew. His chest rises and falls rhythmically as he pants, winded. The breaths escaping his muzzle turn into small clouds in the cold air before floating up and dissipating. That was fun. Certainly. Although I can't feel my snout now. We lie on the snow in silence for a bit before Lake speaks again. You know, spending time with you is fun. I'm really happy you have the chance to do that here. Back in the dormitory, I often felt like you were avoiding me for some reason. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I had no idea you felt that way. I never avoided you. I struggled with keeping up with my studies and progressing with photography, so I rarely had the time to meet. Maybe I should rethink my priorities. Yeah, it'd be good if you just relaxed and did something fun from time to time. Like now, for example. Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm going back to the guest house. It's quite cold already. See you two later. Hey, wait, we're coming too. I get up and grab Lake's paw, lifting him from the ground. Where's Jürgen? Over there, waiting for us at the door. Shaking the snow away from our fur, we return to the guest house together. After the walk, the four of us split and each went our own ways. Lake took the flannel shirt back and went with Jürgen back to their room, and Miko went to his own room as well. I spent some time in the lobby watching TV, but it quickly got boring, so I'm walking around the guest house looking for anyone. Looks like there's no one here. I decided to check out the locker room, see if anyone was in the swimming pool or sauna, but it doesn't look like it. Where is everyone? The lockers are all open, but maybe I shouldn't assume that it means they're all empty. Take off my shoes and walk further into the locker room. Inside one of the lockers is a familiar hoodie, covering some other clothes and belongings. Bingo. Now where might the bear these belong to be? If he's in the sauna, maybe I could join him for a quick session. I peek into the corridors and sign to see Bjorn leaving the sauna. Oh, Arvo. I'd ask you if you're going to the sauna, but seeing you in these clothes, I'm guessing you're not. I wanted to check if you're inside, but I see you're already done. Yeah, I had 2 50-minute sessions already, and that's enough for me. Now I need a cold shower. Preferably a bucket of cold water, but I don't know if they have those here. Can I tag along with you? I mean, after the shower. Oh, I thought you wanted to use the sauna. Not really, I'm just looking for some company. It's been awfully silent since dinner. Suppose most are in their rooms. I probably will be as well if I get into mine. Okay then, but you have to wait for me for a while. We move back into the locker room, me fully dressed but shoeless, Bjorn wearing only a towel, all drenched in sweat and panting loudly. You don't have to wait for me here. I might take a while to cool down. I don't have anything better to do. Well, your call. The bear leaves the showers and I sit down on the bench, taking out my phone to check the notifications. Sent a message to Miko a while ago, but he hasn't replied yet. He's probably back in his room working on something, or taking a nap. I write a quick text to Lake, asking if anything's happening anywhere, and open the web browser. Wonder how thick Bjorn's pelt is. We never had an opportunity to touch a bear. We had some in our town, but I never had one in my class in any of the schools I attended. Can't be very thick if he's wearing hoodies indoors, probably not thicker than mine. Now that I think of it, I don't think I've seen a bear up close before. He's... I try not to stare much when he's leaving the sauna, but he looked quite good from what I've seen. I always liked that type of build. Big, burly, and great for snuggling into. Spending time with him was fun, but I still barely know him. If I had the key to my room, maybe I'd talk him into a visit. Talking in a more private environment always feels more personal. A notification icon displays at the top of the screen, informing me I got a new message. I don't know, I'm with Jürgen in our room. I might go in like 15 minutes. 15 minutes isn't that much. Maybe we could still do something together before the stargazing. Although I might stick with Bjorn instead. I don't know if he has any plans yet. Bjorn leaves the shower with a towel wrapped around his waist, water dripping from his body. Huh, so you did wait. I hope not only so you could peek at me. I can tell he's joking, but I can see myself getting flushed anyway. He starts to dry himself with a towel, and I turn the other way to give him some more privacy. You had any plans for after the sauna? Oh, not really. I thought I'd go rest in my room for a while. I don't mind company, though. Or we go pay Travis a visit. He has some multiplayer games with him. Those sound good, but it'd be nice to spend some time alone with him. For some reason I felt like he didn't want to let me into his room when I came to play snooker, but maybe I was wrong? Okay, I'm ready. I nod and stand up, leaving the locker room with him. Room? Walking out of the corridor, we walk straight into the deer. Shh. Sure. Listen. We stand quietly listening in. Do I hear a piano? Definitely, it sounds like an acoustic one. I had no idea there was one here, that's neat. Oh yeah, there's one in the common room. I wonder who's playing it. Only one way to find out. Are you two coming in with me? Sure, live music is definitely a treat. Arvo? Sure, I like the idea. Even if I look forward to spending time with Bjorn instead. And I might have an idea of who's sitting behind the piano. And if you don't, we'll find out in the next video. I know there's still quite a bit to go here, and it is getting later in the evening, so I'd rather wrap things up here. We'll, I think, have one more video of Dawn Chorus to go before we kind of reach where the route we're going on is publicly at the moment. So yeah, it's definitely another one coming up in the next couple of weeks, maybe. So I hope you enjoyed that. Talking in the next couple of weeks, on Saturday we have the new video for London's Aesop, and the following Saturday it will be ICO. And getting back to those two things, they've both just come out in the past couple of days. And then we'll see what else happens later in the month. I think I'll probably try and do another Dawn Chorus before the end of the month. And I think we'll probably do some more Tennis Ace and see what's going on with Shuichi there. But I'll figure that out as we go along. But before I wrap this one up, as usual, I have to mention my top patrons. So Kopi, Bastian, Marcus, Brian Hall, Gunnar Muller, Sindri Dragowolf, Tiger Cub, Ida Corval, Anubis Silverwind, Brandon Bradford, Dissonance, Samuto, The Beholder, David Taylor, Evan King, and Grizz. Special thanks to them for being my top patrons, and thanks to everyone who supports me on Patreon. It's very much appreciated, trust me. So I think that's really all I have to say here. I hope you're enjoying Dawn Chorus. It's certainly enjoyable, and I've played right through past this on several different routes. I have to say, Devon knows his teeth. I like that about him. But for now, before we go to some live music in the next episode, I'm going to leave it. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.